Alright YouTube, just so you guys know, I recorded this video before I went to New York. However, I wanted to have this video out before the Supreme drop list. And today, I could clickbait the shit out of this video and say something along the lines of like, how to get Supreme for retail after Supreme drops, yada yada yada. But I don't want to do that to you. I just want you guys to know when the best time to buy Supreme is. And tomorrow, if you take that L, when you should be buying. Anyways, what up YouTube? Welcome to Solid. Welcome to yet another video. Today we are going to go over the Supreme market. Now, I don't have some like crazy secret that nobody knows, right? I just have some little tips and tricks, I guess, from my experience as to when the best time to buy is. Basically, I'm going to go over what you should do as a reseller and a buyer and different options for you. And then I'm going to show off some pieces that I took L's on this season that I acquired and kind of discuss why they are relevant or why they are unique in the Supreme market, right? Many of those pieces will be from my personal collection, so of course if you want to see some fire pictures of those pieces, which you don't even know what they are yet, but trust me, you will want to see these pictures, then make sure you go follow my Instagram. My Instagram's at the start, there'll be somewhere on the screen and in the description below. Change your life, go follow me. But anyways, if you shop on Supreme pretty regularly, then you know that we all get L's. Eventually, you will always get the L handed down to you from Supreme, right? You log in Thursday morning, the clock reads 7:58, you type in SUP, Supreme pops up because it's your second most visited site. The only site you really go to more than that is Pornhub. You refresh the page constantly, you know what you want to get, you've been knowing what you wanted for the last 2 days. The clock strikes 8, you hit refresh again, nothing pops up, you're kind of worried, your palms are sweaty, you're gonna have a minor anxiety attack. 4 seconds in, you hit it again, and boom, the stuff loads. They load the site with the product, you find your item, you hit add to cart, you hit checkout now, you hit process payment, and then boom, it sends you to the dreaded page where it has a line through the product and it says your product is no longer available, or this product is no longer available. I don't know, I can't read it verbatim, I can't remember exactly what it says, but it says something along those lines. Your boy doesn't get hit with it that often, so it's kind of hard for me to remember exactly, you know. But anyways, as a reseller and you took the W, of course you are posting it everywhere. There's 3 sites to post to. There's eBay, Grailed, and StockX. And really, I shouldn't say you should be posting it everywhere because with eBay, there's no real pro to posting Supreme. With eBay, it's kind of sketch pro. Today, Junior? Honestly, with eBay, it's kind of sketch buying Supreme off of, so I don't really mind if you post it as a seller, but as a buyer, I would just kind of stay away from eBay for the most part, unless they have a lot of customer feedback. But as a new seller, that's kind of hard to get. But even with Grailed, you need a lot of customer feedback, because I don't really like even buying from Grailed without customer feedback. There's just really no guarantee. And I would say that's where StockX comes into play. As a buyer, that's probably the most trusted place to buy. If you guys are not familiar with StockX, they originally started with shoes. You guys might have heard of other companies that do something similar like Go. Both of these companies have become places where you can go to buy shoes, and that's how they both started off, where you could basically go buy shoes, they would authenticate it for you, so that way you have a little bit more peace of mind when you're buying, because a lot of these shoes are faked, and it's only right that that ends up happening with Supreme. I would not be surprised if more companies copy StockX and start getting into that and start authenticating Supreme for you, just because that's kind of where the marketplace is going. A lot of the people that were buying and collecting and reselling shoes are now buying and collecting and reselling Supreme. And other clothing brands. Supreme's not the only one. Babe, Palace, FTP, other companies are kind of getting to that realm where they get so much hype that they have a resale market. I think StockX is brilliant for doing this as early as possible. I think it's really smart of them to do this as early as possible, and I think as a buyer of Supreme, it's kind of nice to go to a place where I know I can get something and I know it's authenticated. Now, that being said, I would always get it authenticated myself, especially if you're buying something that you just don't know. Like, you can never have too many eyes on a piece, essentially. People can talk about how they're so good at doing this, they're so good at doing that, but it's always possible to have something slip through the cracks, but having that extra peace of mind is a lot better. And on top of that, you have some accountability. Now, I'm not just going to sit here and bash Grailed. I think there is one positive thing about Grailed, and that is the fact that Grailed has more than just Supreme. You can buy Born and Raised on Grailed, you can buy 10 Deep on Grailed, you can buy all these other brands. And I really wonder if StockX will get to that point where they are an like all-inclusive marketplace, and maybe they just legit check like the hype brands that need legit checking, and then have a separate marketplace for companies like Born and Raised, 10 Deep, and stuff like that. Now, as a buyer, usually I find the best time to buy is within 10 to 30 minutes. And the reason for that is because resellers want to be the first one to post that product, right? And they want to post it first so that way they can sell it for the most. They want to find that impatient person who's just going to buy it right away just by the first one they see, and they're like satisfied that they have that piece in their collection. They're really rich, I don't know, their parents have tons of money and they can just afford to do that. I shouldn't assume it's their parents, maybe they have tons of money, I don't know, maybe there's some kind of like internet mogul or something. But essentially what happens is a lot of people will come right after and they'll start undercutting. You see the prices go lower and lower and lower, and the market's always surprising. Some things will dip to a really low price and then bounce back and hit like a really high price, and then some things won't really fluctuate as much, and you kind of just have to know when to buy and guess, I guess, when the best time is to buy. Now don't get me wrong, I've gotten some deals because I have followers that just support me, that show love, that will buy something and they're like, yo, I could sell it for this, but I want to sell it to you because like I like your videos, whatever. Okay guys, so real quick, in the next clip I'm about to talk about the North Face, and I say, oh, the North Face that I showed off. However, I didn't show it off because I was supposed to drop this video yesterday. Now, as you guys know, it's been like 5 or 6 days. I try to stay consistent with the uploads. However, I lost some stuff on the plane, and one of those items included a very beautiful, nice SSD hard drive. I'm super bummed about it, but I'm more bummed that I lost all the footage that I had on that thing. I had so much footage on that and I'm so pissed about that, but I had to re-edit it and I had to reshoot a little look for the North Face Supreme with the boy Chris Montante. I was in New York, I took a ton of pictures, so definitely follow my Instagram. I also got some really dope footage, so I'm gonna re-edit this North Face Supreme. It's not in the mountains like the pictures on my Instagram, but it's still really, really dope, and honestly, I think the footage is gonna turn out even sicker, so definitely stay tuned if you wanna see that North Face video, that North Face Supreme unboxing. Smash that like button, I'll get that to you guys, but I'm about to upload this video and drop it. So now let's get back to your regular scheduled program. For example, the Supreme North Face that I showed off, that's kind of like that situation. The homie Garrett hooked me up for 750 bucks. That's a really good deal. I don't even think the market dipped below 900, which I was kind of surprised about because I expected to see it at right around like 750, 800. Another piece would be the Camo Jackets, right? I got those for right around 500 bucks a piece. The market on those right now is between $700 and $800, and 500 bucks is a really good deal for that jacket. I got one for 540, one for 460. The one I got for 460, the dude has never heard of me. He doesn't even know who I am. But like I said, 10 to 30 minutes, I was sitting there refreshing the page, just refreshing, waiting for people to post, waiting for people to undercut, and then sure enough, someone posted for 460 and I scooped it up. So between 8:10 and 8:30, you want to try to find that piece and get it. Now, that being said, you still need to be careful where you buy from because like I said with Grailed, there is no guarantee. So I would make sure that if you are buying from someone on Grailed, that they have a lot of customer feedback, 5 out of 5, maybe 4.8 out of 5. If they do have any markdowns, read why they might have a markdown. With StockX, you don't really have to worry about that because obviously it'll be sent to StockX and then they will verify it. So getting into some of the pieces that I got from StockX, right? I got this beautiful Scarface lamp. Now, you guys know I wanted that piece for so long. However, the market never really dipped on that. I will say that when Supreme first dropped on StockX, there were so many good deals on a lot of this stuff. It was insane. I'll get into some of the deals that I got on StockX in a moment. But yeah, the market never really dipped on that piece. It's a piece that I really wanted for my personal collection. I really wanted to sit right there and never move, not even be rotated at all. And just like the market never dipped on that piece, the market never dipped on this piece because this piece was kind of more of like a personal cop for most people, I think. I don't think a lot of people got this to resell. It wasn't like a super hyped item, but it's a super dope item and it's one of my favorite pieces from the season. As you guys know, I love these loose gauge beanies and I also love the Old English font. This is probably one of the least hyped fonts from Supreme, but it's my favorite font, and so when they dropped this beanie, I was super hyped. This is just like my shit. It's got black ribbing on the outside and then the under ribbing is gray, hence why it's called the two-tone beanie. Now, another very interesting piece, and I think this is really important to discuss the market, just kind of like with the North Face and the Camo Jacket, is the Brooklyn box logo. This is arguably one of the most hyped pieces from this season. As you can see, it has that little verified authentic tag right there. When you buy from StockX, you have this little tag that says, please inspect item, all claims null and void if tag is removed. And the reason they do that is so that way they can make sure this is the piece that they checked, right? They have a little barcode on it, just like with the blimps. As you can see, you have a little verified authentic sticker that has a barcode on it as well, and then you have the SKU right there. So this is a way that they can kind of protect themselves, but this is something that you as a consumer should know. Even if you have this verified authentic tag, still go get it inspected if you want to make sure. But you can at least buy with a little bit more ease of mind, and like I said, there's some accountability. So if you buy this piece and you're like, oh, and you don't have a double stitch tag, or the Supreme spacing is kind of off, or something like that, maybe you get one and doesn't even have the number on the back. Maybe the number on the back is something like 281-330-8004. Who knows? But having that peace of mind when you purchase is definitely nice. Now, the market on this is, it was unique because originally this was a Brooklyn store exclusive because it was a Brooklyn store box logo. So it was for the Brooklyn store opening. Like a week or two afterwards, it dropped online. I don't remember what day. I think it was like Monday or Wednesday or something. I want to say it was Monday, but it was completely random. They dropped at 8 a.m. like they normally drop. Sorry, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, when they normally drop. However, no one expected them to drop anything because it wasn't Thursday, so these sat on the site for like 15-20 minutes. But once they dropped on the site, you actually saw the market dip, so you were able to get it at a more reasonable price. So if you wanted this for your personal collection, that would have been the best time to buy, is right after the market dips. And if you didn't know that, then now you know, so in the future when you want to buy something, you know when the best time to buy is. But definitely keep that in mind whenever you are buying something and you want to get a good deal. But the most important thing is not like, okay, I need to get the cheapest price. You also want to make sure that you're getting an authentic piece. Now, going over some of the deals that I got on StockX, like I mentioned when I talked about that little Scarface lamp, I got some of this stuff actually for retail. I think I paid like $10 or $20 over retail on the blimps, and I got 2 of them. I had to get 2 more blimps, so I have like 5 blimps total. And then I got this little Hysteric Glamour mug right here, and as you can see, you have this little authentication tag as well. I think I got this for actually retail, or maybe even a little bit below retail. Like, I got a stupid good deal on this mug. Now, you do have to pay for shipping, of course, duh. But the shipping's kind of unique because it ships to StockX, and then StockX actually ships it out to the buyer. And one thing I'll say that's really dope about StockX is their communication. So they actually have an email system where they notify you once the seller ships it out, once it arrives to StockX and it's being legit checked, and then once they ship it out. And then once they ship it out, they 2-day ship everything, so it gets to you within a reasonable time. Like, I purchased this stuff. I wanted to purchase this stuff because I wanted to talk about it, and essentially I wanted, if I was to say like, yo, go shop at StockX, I wanted to make sure that it was a good experience, and I genuinely had a good experience. I think if StockX plays their cards right, they can be a huge name. I mean, really, they already are a huge name. A lot of people ask me like what I think about them and whether or not I think it's a good place to buy, and I do think it's a good place to buy. I think the idea of being able to buy something and having a little bit more security is nice, right? Having a little bit better peace of mind as opposed to when you buy from any other site. That's definitely a nice feeling, because really the only time I feel 100% comfortable is if I'm buying from Supreme directly. And in reality, I really shouldn't feel 100% comfortable about that. Obviously, you don't get fake items, but sometimes Supreme's quality control is garbage. But yeah, what do you guys think? What are your tips and tricks, and do you guys have any tips and tricks on how to find Supreme at a cheaper price? Where do you like buying from? Where do you prefer buying from? Where do you prefer selling from? I want to hear your guys' opinions. If you guys do, let me know. Maybe I'll make an updated video discussing other people's ideas or other people's tips and tricks. Like I said, the overall simplified version of mine is just wait 10 to 30 minutes and just wait for everyone to undercut each other and try to buy then. But I kind of want to discuss more than just that and discuss the marketplace as a whole and discuss different websites like eBay, Grailed, and StockX. Huge shout out to StockX. I'm really curious to see what you guys do in the future. And I'm also curious to see if other companies follow that business model and try to copy them or add some kind of authentication service to their, you know, Supreme purchasing or something like that. I don't know. That would be very interesting for me to see. Anyways, I need to go take some fire pictures in this tea right here, so make sure you go follow my Instagram. Like I said, my Instagram's at the start. There'll be some on the screen and in the description below. Make sure you subscribe if you've not already. Turn on notifications. Join the notification gang. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it from the top and bottom of my heart. And as always, keep living the star life.